Leave the platform and come back. I see your call, but it's not bringing you up. Guinea is overtaking our land, oh, and this is very sad. We need strong leadership from JMB. You know JMB weak. Yeah, man. Marcel like Kirkeko. You know, I let all light skin man. I know he can smoke cigar. If Kirkeko can smoke cigar, he just make it worse. Mhm. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Are you Johnny?
Finally.
Finally,
Sunny here.
can you hear me? Good
Yes.
morning, Sudan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
afternoon from
What's
here.
the time of Africa? What's the time of Africa?
It's I need to check now.
This is I don't wake up this early, but because of you, I'm up.
I'm not sure, but it's afternoon. I don't have a watch near me. I don't want to tamper with the video,
No,
so
don't touch. Yeah, don't touch anything.
okay, I see. It's 3:17
Okay, so it's in the afternoon of
p.m.
Africa. Good afternoon,
Yes,
South
yes.
Africa. Good afternoon to Nelson Mandela country. There's a gentleman. Where are you? Are you in Johannesburg? Are you in Cape Town?
Yeah, Johannesburg.
You are in Johannesburg. I pray to see
Yeah,
Johannesburg one day. How are you doing this afternoon?
you should. You should.
Hmm.
Good
What's your
afternoon and
name?
good morning according to your time.
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon. Introduce yourself to the people. Who are you? What's your name, first of all?
Okay, yeah, my name is Sonny Usora. I'm a visual artist and filmmaker.
You're a visual artist and filmmaker. You're Nigerian,
Yeah. Yes, I'm Nigerian, yeah.
but you are based in South Africa.
Based in South Africa, yeah.
So I had a brief conversation with you this morning. Welcome to the platform. Welcome to the Shine Rabo Show, the most talk about, the most trending. This is where you bring all the stories. The stories sit right here. You said you were the reason why I was so excited to hear from you when you called and why I woke up this way. It's because you said that you are the ex-boyfriend too. The late Tony Jackson. Yes or no?
Yeah,
So you
right.
dated Tony
Yes,
Jackson. And you said you
yes.
dated Tony Jackson in 2019
2019, 2020.
before the COVID, and then around the
Yes,
COVID time you guys broke up.
yes. We
And you're
broke up just
Nigerian.
before COVID. Say that again.
You are a Nigerian.
Yes, I'm a Nigerian living in South Africa.
You're Nigerian living in South Africa. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me this morning. Why you called? You called. Tell me, I know somebody link you. I'm not going to call her name. We are not going to call who call me. Tell who call me, but the person that connected me, I want to appreciate that person first of all. Because we've been wondering who is Tony Jackson. Tony Jackson is a girl that died in Liberia. For those who don't know, she was dating Samuel Jackson and she just passed mysteriously. And we are still asking questions. Then boom, out of the blues, I'm talking to her ex-boyfriend from South Africa, Nigerian based. You are hearing him live on the platform. Welcome, welcome. So tell us, Tony, tell us a little more about Tony. We don't know who Tony is. We wouldn't know that she dated our Liberian daddy.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank you for bringing me on the show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And greetings to everyone who is watching right now. Speaking here is Sonny Usora. I'm Nigerian, living in South Africa. I've been living in South Africa for 15 years. So basically, I'm into visual arts and graphics, all forms of creativity. I'm into music and filmmaking as well too. And then alongside, I do ministry work or mission work. So
And this is you and Tony, right? Can you
say
see?
again?
Can you see me? Can you see me on the screen?
No, you're not showing.
Okay, I'm showing the picture that was sent to me with you and Tony in South Africa when you guys were dating.
Okay.
I'm showing the picture. There's a girl in the picture. Who is she? There's a light-skinned girl. This is the guy and Tony. The person who's talking right now, this is him and this is Tony. You can see that they were in a relationship, and he made one thing clear: he was in love. So continue.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Okay. So I met Tony in June 2019 at the mall. And I mean, our meeting was very, it was just strange. Like, I just liked her the first day I met her. I would say we both liked each other, because I've never had a woman meet me and as a stranger and say to me, come, let me buy you drinks. So that was how the whole thing started. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay, let me see if this is real. I said, okay, I don't mind. And then we went to a restaurant, sat down, and then she ordered for drinks. I'm like, oh, okay, this is impressive. So that day, I did her pencil portrait on the spot. You know, I did a sketch for her that day. And later on, she said, when it was getting late, you know, she said she was still enjoying my company. She still wanted us to spend some more time together, you know. So we just met that day, and that day she came with me to the house, to my place. You know, she said she still needed to spend more time with me and all that. I said, okay, that's fine. I introduced her to my dog. My dog was the first thing that welcomed her, small Maltese poodle, you know, and she really loved my dog. And from that time on, I noticed she would now come, and then she would spend the whole day. Like, she would come even when I'm not around. She would come, and like, if I go do my thing, she would ask me, no problem, you can leave me behind, you know. And so that was how the friendship built, and before you know it, we were in a relationship. It was like, it's something that happened fast, I would say, because that week that we met, we started dating.
No battery.
The same week. So at some point, I noticed that she was secretive. It was hard to get a lot from her, to know a lot from her. There's some things she kept to herself. She was the kind of person who, one of the things was her age. I like to ask, if I'm in a relationship, I like to know how old, you know, you are. Not because, you know, I want to use that to assess you or judge you, but it makes me have a kind of understanding of who I'm dealing with, you know. And she hid that from me. For a long time, I would ask, how old are you, Tony? She would refuse to tell me. At some point, I just allow that to slide, you know. And then we'll go out on dates. And I think the following month, July, because she would come, she would spend some time, sometimes she would spend days before leaving. Then in July, she eventually moved in, you know, like fully. Because I think she started by bringing in things gradually, and then at some point she had moved in, you know. I can't even explain how it happened, you know, because I just realized that I couldn't stop her, you know, because I mean, this is someone I was in a relationship with, and she comes, she spends days, and then so at the point she was moving in, I didn't think there was so much of a problem. I didn't fight it. I just allowed it, you know. So it was cool. It was nice, but until she started going out and coming back very late, and I had a problem with that, because since she's the secretive type, when she goes out, she will only tell me, okay, I'm going to so place, but then she will not let me know who she is with, you know. I wouldn't know this person, and she can't she never introduced anyone to me. Okay, talking about her, she said her father passed on. She said her father was very abusive to her mom, so she was never close to her father, and then the father passed on. And then she said her mom was still alive and in Lenasia, very far from the part of Johannesburg where we are. It's like outskirts of Johannesburg. And she was of the colored race, while the father was Zulu. And then I noticed something the second week after we met. In fact, that point when she was about to move in, she asked me to follow her somewhere, and it was a parking. And then I noticed it was to where she parked her car. And then I noticed that she had a lot of things inside the car, which seemed like someone who didn't really have a place, from what I saw, and please, whatever I'm saying now is just for us to have an understanding of Tony, and also to give some form of closure. Yes. So I'm not saying anything to talk down on her, so what I'm saying is just the fact that I'm putting out there. It might just help with some form of closure, or whoever needs it, so so I noticed her car had a lot of things, like someone who didn't have where to stay. And then it got me wondering where she was staying and why she moved to my place too quick. But I couldn't, when I tried to probe further, any question I tried to ask to a certain level, I experienced some form of resistance. So I didn't bother pushing too much on all that. Yeah. She would ask me about, I'll ask her about her family. What she wanted me to know was just what she wanted me to know. So there are times when she would leave the house and she will be back after some days, and she will say to me that she was with her sister. And sometimes when she's by where she says she's with her sister, I would ask to speak to her on the phone, and she would say she can't do that. So I was in a relationship, but I didn't really know so much about the person I was in a relationship with, And then sometimes she'll now tell me she's going home to Lenasia, and she would ask me to book the ride if she doesn't want to drive down to Lenasia. She'll ask me to book the ride, But I felt that she did that because most of the time she was the one paying for the ride herself. So I felt that she did that because she wanted me to know for a fact that she was going to Lenasia. So she asked me to book the ride, and I'll book the ride, and the destination is Lenasia. Now, Tony as a person, she had this very sweet personality about her. She was the kind of person that easily warms up into your heart. She had a beautiful smile, She was slow, to reacting. She was slow to reacting. She liked, there's a particular place she liked us going out for lunch. It was like a garden-like feel. She liked flowers, she liked garden environment, she liked, things that seemed, warmth, that seemed to carry a lot of, that warms up to your heart. When I get her flowers, it changes her mood immediately. She gets so excited, and all of that. Now, so that I don't take too much of your time, why did I break up with her? It started off with the whole thing of going out, and I don't know where she is. She will go out and come back midnight, and then the next time she goes out, she comes back 2 a.m. in the morning. Some other time she comes back the following morning, but then I don't know where she is. I don't know who she is with, And most of the time when she comes back very late in the night like that, she comes back drunk. I've seen Tony drunk, even drunk during the daytime, So that was one of the problems she had. Okay, one of the issues we also had was she would need to use my phone to make calls, and I had no password on my phone. I'll give her. She would even go very far and make calls with my phone, no password, does what she wants to do. But if I dare look at her phone had a lock. If I dare look at her phone while she's on WhatsApp, she gets angry. So she never wanted me to see who she was chatting with or her conversations and all that. Some things were kind of weird. Now, while she was staying with me, I would do practically everything, you know, down to, you know, cleaning, you know, sweeping, cooking, you know, and then she would eat and all that. I'll go do groceries, come. She would go, she would do, maybe she would get wine or maybe bread and eggs, you know. So she wasn't really the type, the type that was, she was not domesticated. Let me put it that way. So, but then she explained that it had to do with her health, that she's anemic. That was what she said to me, that she was anemic. What did I notice? Yeah, when she's in the bathroom, she can spend very long hours in the bathroom, and she wouldn't want me to dare step into the bathroom while she's there. So there are times that suspected if she was doing drugs and was hiding, you know, because that kind of, you know, behavior, you know, felt that way. But I have no proof of that. I have no proof that she was ever doing drugs, you know. But I just knew that she would just hide in the bathroom and she would spend long time in the bathroom. And then what else? Tony was slow. There are times she could take days to respond to a message. Now, Tony was hardly on the phone with me when she's not around. So I would call her and we'll only speak for probably 5 minutes or at most 10 minutes, you know, which I found strange, because maybe I just thought that maybe it was her person. Maybe she was not the type that liked to be on the phone for a long time. And then talking about her being a lawyer. Now, I saw the lawyer gown. I saw documents. You know, files. I saw files and all of that. And majority of the time she would sit at home, and she created a business card using my place as an address, you know, to practice her law profession as an independent lawyer, right? But I didn't really see so much of that impact in her. Was she from a rich family? I would doubt that. The reason I would doubt that is because when she gets home to Lenasia, it was more like they expected things from her. So sometimes I would, you know, give her some money, you know, while she's going home. You know, like she's according to her, she said she had nieces, you know, over there, and she would go, she would get some things for them, you know, and all that, and take care of the family. And with regards to what again? Okay, why we broke up? So it started with coming back late at night, getting drunk, and coming back late at night. And then she would, and then after that, I would see her with mostly white old men in the mall, and it was suspicious. Though she would tell me those were her clients, you know, for her work clients, you know, but she would spend long hours with them, you know, at the meeting spots, you know. So much was suspicious about the way she you know, the way she was, I mean, dealing with these men and all that. So okay, I see someone saying bitter ex. I am not bitter. I still love Tony till date. I'm only saying,
distraction.
yeah.
Let me say that out there. Don't worry about the comment section. They will say bullshit. Let me say that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
This
So, okay.
particular story about Tony, I broke it to the internet.
Yes. I'm just giving a story so that whatever is
Listen,
needed
you can
for.
go on to the next 1 hour. The time is yours. I was sleeping this morning. I didn't even know about, never heard of him. And I received a strange phone call. Luckily, I picked it up and they put it mail on 3-way and said, this guy is Tony's ex. He want to talk to you. And I asked his permission. Do you want to come live? Because the story is not for me. It's my business to expose stories like this. And that's how he's here. I don't know nothing about nobody or nobody platform. Who you talk to, not my business. I'm a business woman. I open my platform because he called me. Let's establish that. I go on nobody's page. I tell nobody's story. You're quite the bullshit. Let's continue the show. And nobody can do it more than Shadow Rebels. Let's clear that bullshit out. God damn it. Come into, I mean, wait, you Sony, right?
Yeah.
Come in, Sony.
Yeah. All right. So, so all of that happened, and then another major thing was me not knowing family members or knowing people that were close to her, which I tried to push, to push her to, at least introduce me to. I said to her, you cannot be living with me and then you're not introducing anyone, to me, and we're living together, and then she said to me that it would happen at the right time. She said that I'm being in a hurry. I said, okay, but don't you think that you moving in with me was also rushed too? Because if we are getting to that stage where you are moving in with me, you should as well be at this point where you are open to talk about or to introduce me to, even if it's your sister or somebody that's close to you, because it always helps when there is issues. It will be easy for me to know who to speak to.
Yeah.
So that concern was one of the reasons I said to her, I think this is not a good arrangement. I think it would have been wise for you to move. And then this was December of 2019. I said it will be wise for you to move. And then she said to me, okay, fine, I should give her 3 months to find another place. I said, well, it doesn't make sense. 3 months is a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time for you to be staying with me again for another 3 months, when we are calling things off. I said, okay, but I didn't have a choice because she was under that pressure. I said, okay, I'll give you that 3 months till March of 2020.
Yeah, that was COVID.
So
that was COVID. Or before
so that
COVID.
From April, you can move. So January comes, she was still around. I was still watching time, but I was still, taking care of her, cooking for her, just being there for her as a friend. February, and then comes March. And then an announcement was made, nationwide lockdown, 27th of March. Now, she said to me, there is a lockdown. She still can't move, because she can't be looking for a place now that there is a lockdown. So that was how she now got stuck with me again for the whole of 2020. Now, when we're entering 2021, I said, no, 2021, this is 2021, and you are hardly here because during the lockdown, she was hardly with me, but all her things, all her stuff and everything was still with me. I said, can you at least move all your stuff, move everything, right? So I put the pressure. She wasn't making any move with regards to that. At some point, I moved everything to the store. There's a storage in the compound, so the caretaker allowed me to use the storage. So her things were now moved to the storage. So I think it was that same, okay, I lost my mom in 2020, August 2020. When she heard about it, she came and spent some time with me. So we still had a good friendship going on, even though there was no relationship. We had a good friendship going on. So she came, spent some time with me that period. And then 2021, in March 2021, I lost my dad. So losing both parents, I couldn't make it to my mom's funeral. Now my dad, I had to go back to Nigeria, you know, to help out with all the preparations and plans, you know, and to bury him as well too. Yeah. So at that stage, I moved out from where I was because I was going to Nigeria for a long time. So I moved out completely from where I was staying, but her things were still there in the storage. But we're still in touch, in communication. So then she now told me, even though she didn't reveal the person to me, she now told me that she's married now, she's living her best life, you know. I said, oh, good for you. Thank God for you. This was 2021. I don't know when exactly she got married, but this was what she told me in 2021. Okay. You know, that late 2021, you know, she told me she's married now and that she's living her best life. She'll send me pictures of her in different African countries that she was, you know, touring, and then pictures of her in America, you know, and all of that. And I'm like, okay, oh, great. I'm happy for you. That's what I said to her. I'm happy for you, you know. But I always have a problem with breakups turning into enemies, you know, because naturally I hate to have enemies in my life, especially if like somebody like Tony, which I still love till today. You know, it's hard not to love a person. You know, yes, she's got her other sides, which, you know, which we could call weaknesses, you know, but I love that as a person. Tony was never a violent person. That I can tell you. Tony was never a violent person. Tony could get angry and say things, but I never saw Tony throw things or get physically abusive. There were times when her coming back late in the night and, you know, me getting angry with the whole thing, I would like shout, you know, I would shout on her, but then she doesn't shout back, you know, so she was never a violent person. She was never the kind of person who would, you know, want to rage, you know, and all of that. You know, I enjoyed my time with Tony. I loved Tony. For many months, her head was on my chest. For many months, you know, we would sleep with her head on my resting on my chest. There was such beautiful moments that I could never forget. So even after she told me she was married, we still communicated. When she needed to get her car that has been packed with my landlord for years, when she needed to get the car, you know, even when I came back from Nigeria, I spent a long time in Nigeria. Actually, I spent 2 years in Nigeria. From 2021 to 2023, I was in Nigeria. We were still in communication. So when I came back in 2023, towards the end of 2023, in 2024, I moved back to a property that was owned by the same landlord, and that was where her car was parked. So she contacted me from the US. She was in the US at the time. She contacted me from US. She said she wanted help, you know, with that somebody would come to get the car, and she wanted help with opening the gate, reaching out to the person, and, you know, like communicating.
What you want?
You know, which...
Well, hold on. You keep calling. What you want?
I want your dress, man, on your show.
No. Go sit down. Go sit down. Talk, Papa. Hello. You keep calling. Yeah. I thought you know something about the podcast. Okay. Sonny, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Sonny, let me say something to you quick. Let me ask one important question.
Okay.
For all the time you are with Tony, Did Tony ever had anything they call seizure? Or
No.
did she ever explain to you, express to you, apart from being a minute, have she ever told you that she has seizures?
No. Tony never had seizures while she was with me.
Okay.
The only thing she
never
complained
told you
about was
seizures.
no. She only complained about being anemic and that she cannot do and that she cannot do hard things.
And have you ever experienced any sort of seizures while you were during that period of 2019 to 2020, or till she left your side? Did you ever experience any sort of seizures?
Seizures, no. Never.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. I'll give you the benefit. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, so she would call me. Sometimes she would send me pictures, like when she was at Beyonce's concert. She said she went with her husband, that they had moved. She said they had moved to Atlanta. So she said she went for Beyonce's concert in Atlanta. She sent me videos, you know, while she was at the concert in Atlanta. And then, so once in a while, we'll talk, because, I mean, you're married, it's cool. I mean, we don't have to be enemies.
Yeah.
You know, so once in a while, would greet each other, would say hi to each other. But there are times, I don't know if it had to do with some kind of anger from our breakup, because me asking her to move was one of the things that made her really angry, because at some point, she not moving, I had to move. Before I even move her things to the storage, I went to the cops. I told her, I said, if by January, because you've been postponing and you're not moving, at least I know you can move to your home in Lenasia, you know. So I can't be stuck with you like this.
Yeah.
We're not moving forward in a relationship.
Yeah.
And also, I cannot get into any relationship because you're with me, you know. So I didn't want to remain in that position, right? So, so being stuck like that is something I didn't want. And then, so I made all the effort. Not like I went to the cops because I hated her. I went to the police so that she could see that it's serious and take it serious. She wasn't taking it serious. Yeah, so she wasn't taking it serious. And I still couldn't get help, because according to them, they said they were not part of the story. They didn't understand how her moving in happened, that it would be difficult for them to interfere or eject her from my place. So it was a difficult situation. So even after I moved her things to the storage, you know, I still felt responsible until I moved out from there, and then I traveled. I went to Nigeria, you know. So so that period, I think it must be part of what must have made her feel very offended, you know, that I took out her things and the way I pushed her, you know, out, you know, not physically, like, you know, got her to, you know, to move.
Yes.
So sometimes that thing triggers, you know. So there are times when she gets very offensive, or she tries to want to prove to me that she's living a better life. Okay. And I keep telling her, see, there's no need to do all that, because I wasn't, like she told me, she says, my husband has 2 private jets and 1 helicopter. That she said to me, you know, and at one instant, you know, she would tell me, stop contacting me. And then she would insult me. She would tell me to stop contacting me, that I'm harassing her. Then, like the last message, okay, like this year, the last message I got from Tony, I still have the text, the WhatsApp message, was on the 2nd of January, when she was wishing me Happy New Year, you know. And then I responded, you know, and I sent her, I think, pictures of she and a certain celebrity that I took of the 2 of them. And then I said to her, And then I said to her, whenever you are back in South Africa, you know, feel free, we could meet and catch up. And then after I sent that message, then she became, she started using harsh words on me, you know, that I should leave her alone. You know, that then she said her husband is a field marshal in America. I don't know if that's true, but that's what she said. She said, my husband is a field marshal in America. He would shoot you and nothing will happen. Those were her words. I still have the WhatsApp message. You know? And then I responded. I said, why do you always have to be harsh? Sometimes you sound nice, especially when you want me to help you to do one thing or the other in South Africa. And then now, you know, all of a sudden you just switch and you become so harsh. And then I apologized to her. I said, sorry, you know, for contacting you, you know, and then I left her. So the last time I heard from her was January this year. So
what did she say? What did she say? Was she an alcoholic? When you guys were together, was Tony or alcoholic?
Yes, 100%.
So she was drinking heavily?
Yes, she was drinking heavily when we were together.
But you said you never saw her use drugs.
Say that again?
You never saw her using drugs?
No, I never saw her using drugs.
But there was times that she was just hide in the bathroom. The whole relationship was strange.
Yes, yes.
She was very secretive.
She was very secretive. Now, I got to find out her age eventually because I needed some form of closure to understand a lady that was living with me.
Yes.
So I went into her belongings, her bag, and looked for her passport. You know, and anything that would lead to anything, you know, like me, that would lead to a contact or somebody or something. So then I found her passport, and then I realized she was born on the 23rd of June, 1982. So she was supposed to be 44 on the 23rd of June this year. So that was how I found out how old she was. Yeah. And then I know there were times she would be on a call. It sounded very much like she was really a lawyer, you know, but what I would say is she was probably a struggling lawyer who was trying to be independent too early. Because I think one will have to gain some form of credibility to a certain level before you start up your own law firm. You know, that's what I think, you know, because there was so much struggle in that area, you know, so the financing was not really, you know, coming like that for her to be able to get a place, you know, and move and all that. So was that, and she didn't eat much. She ate very little portions, you know. Generally, she was a very peaceful person. Generally, she was a very peaceful person. She was warm to people. She was nice to people. Friendly. She had a beautiful smile. She smiled easily. She smiled a lot. Yeah. Her best shows were, she liked watching Judge Judy. She liked the Kardashians. What's her name? I think the best musician was
Mariah Carey.
I remember this lady. She was always playing. I think maybe it reminded her of her childhood. She was always playing Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Yes.
She loved. Did she have children? Did you ever met her siblings? You ever met her mom, her dad?
I never met any of Tony's family members.
Okay.
Never met any of her family members. Never even spoke to any of her family members. not because I didn't want to, but because she didn't want me to.
Okay.
To her, she felt it was still early. So maybe she wanted the relationship to mature to a certain level where she could introduce me to them, you know, which was understandable. But then I said to her, but you're already living with me, so at least I should speak to your sister. I should have one person, you know, that I could speak to. So, was she materialistic? Now, before, while we were in a relationship, I would say she was not materialistic, you know, but after we broke up, I started thinking that maybe she was, but she just didn't want me to get that impression. Tony was not the kind of lady that needed, like ladies asking for like serious things, like big things. It was usually like the little things, the basic things, you know. I can never remember. It's just that I on my own would just do what I had to do, right? But I can never remember Tony saying, please buy me weave on, or please buy me a phone, or please buy me this, or please get me that, you know. So yeah, so in the whole relationship, I didn't feel that Tony was materialistic. It was mostly we going out on dates, you know. But as far as shopping was concerned, that 6 months that we dated before I called it off, she never asked me for anything serious like that, you know. So but then I was also thinking that maybe this is a speculation. Maybe there was someone that was, you know, funding that for her. Maybe there was someone that was helping, because she would let.
Sonny, you used to see her with things that she buy. Oh, she didn't ask you for things. I agree, but
She didn't ask
you
me for
see her
things.
with things.
Yeah, one day I see her. She came back with a new iPhone, right? And as far as I know she didn't have the funds, you know, as far as I know, you know, from our conversations. Then I asked her, and she said it's none of my business. I asked her, you know, how she got the iPhone, and she said it was none of my business. And then I saw her with old. You see, I have no proof, even though my neighbors will tell me that Tony was cheating, but I had no proof. I never caught her, and I never saw any proof that she was cheating, right? Throughout the time we were in a relationship. But I saw her with people she called clients, that she would sit with, maybe at the poolside or at a restaurant for hours. And then she would tell me those were her clients. Yes.
Older
So I
white
saw her,
men.
yeah, one time there was a black man that was with her, and she said it was the I think I saw her a number of times with this particular black man, but I didn't really see his face, you know. But I just spotted them sitting down. I didn't want to bother her at the moment. Since she says she's with a client, I wouldn't want to, you know, make any trouble or anything, you know. So I would just,
so you were just,
avoid her.
How did you see her? You were just go to the mall and pop into her, or you drop her off to a client?
Yeah.
How you knew these guys? How you saw
I'll
these
go
guys?
to the mall. I'll go to the mall. I'll bump into her in a restaurant, and she's sitting with someone, and it's mostly old people. I don't think Tony was ever with anyone younger than 50 or 50. She was mostly with much older guys. Much older guys, maybe 50 something or 60 something. You know, yeah. Yes. Yeah, you know, those kind of men, you know. and some of them were white. They were, in fact, they were mostly white. So even when she said she was married, there was a time she said she just wanted to pass by and see my dog. It was a white man that drove her down here to my street. She said she just wanted to see the dog. This was 2021. And then I released the dog to her, and then she just played with the dog a bit, and then she left.
That picture. That's when you took that picture of her and the dog.
No, that one is different. That one is, she used to take my dog out on walks, or sometimes the two of us would go out on walk, you know, with the dog. Yes. So
Tony, do you believe that Tony was a hooker or prostitute, Ashawo?
There is a high chance, because I know these things happen in there are different classes of this thing. You know, I never saw her standing on the street. Tony never went to a club, best to my knowledge, nightclub. She was not the club type. She was not a nightclub type.
Yeah.
You know, best to my knowledge, she never went to the nightclub. You know, but why I say there's a high chance that she had hookups.
Yes.
You know, there are levels to this thing. Why I say there was a high chance, there's a high chance, is because on one instance, she said she was going home to Lenasia.
Yeah.
And then she drove to, what's it called? To the to Michelangelo Towers. The reason why I said that is because late at night, I just felt this urge to check the parking. To check the parking of the Michelangelo Towers.
Yeah.
And when I checked, I saw her car parked there. Yes. And I know the boot does not lock. So when I saw her car parked there, I'm like, this lady is lying to me. Okay, at this time, we're no longer in a relationship, but she was still by my place. You know, but I didn't understand why she had to lie that she was going home, but then she was going to Michelangelo Towers, and her things are still by my place. So I came home, packed her things, took them to that parking, opened her boot and moved her things into her boot and closed it, you know, and then came back home. And she was surprised when she noticed. I told her, I said, no, I've helped you move. You said you were going to move, but you've been delaying. So I noticed you didn't even go home. You were at Michelangelo Tower. So I've helped you move.
Where is that?
You know?
Is that a hotel? Is that a hotel?
Yes, Michelangelo Towers, it's a hotel and apartment. Some people rent as an apartment, some rent as a hotel. It's a service apartment. It's a tower. It's like a very prime apartment in South Africa.
Okay.
You know, so
that prostitutes go there. You think hookers, call girls go and do business.
They hang around there as well too.
Yes.
So, you know, now I saw her car there, and then when I spoke to her about it, she said she was with her friend who was with her man. So it wasn't making sense. But then why didn't you just tell me you were going? Because at this point we were not, you know, like that anymore. She was staying with me, but we were not in a relationship anymore. You should have just told me that you have a friend that's with her man in Michelangelo Towers and that you were going there to them, rather than tell me, because the fact that you're telling me you were going home and then you went there now made everything look suspicious. So I felt like, even though we're no longer an item, I'm still taking care of you, accommodating you, feeding you, and everything.
Yeah,
I still deserve some kind of truth or honesty or transparency, you know. So when I saw her car there, I came to the house, packed all her things, took them to her car and put them inside her boots, you know, and covered it and came back home. But then days later, my neighbors told me that she moved her things back to my place. and I was not around. They just called me and told me. And by the time I came back to the house, I noticed she had moved back her things back to my place again. So I mean, so it was that back and forth and all that. It was one relationship that I would say I enjoyed that company. I really enjoyed that company. I have no proof of whether she had hookups. If she did, was likely, bless her. You know, there are people who may not be like after different men, but they might have one person who funds, you know, or helps them financially and all that. I'm not justifying it. I believe that in a relationship, you should be committed to your partner, you know. But if I was going to say she lived that kind of lifestyle, I would say not like she was all over the place. I would say that maybe she had one or two persons that I've seen with her, you know, which I saw later on, even after we had broken up, you know, who was probably giving her promises. Because sometimes these men don't really give you that thing. They just show you, flash a certain lifestyle that you'll be hoping to have. And I remember she told me she's been trying to be an American citizen. So she told me that there was someone she was dating while she was in America, but that the guy was not giving her, was not like marrying her to get the citizenship. So I don't know if her current husband was an American citizen, you know, but I feel that
He was.
if he is, okay. So then that might have been one of the things that must have also made her want to be. But you know what I'm hoping? Because I didn't see her like someone that could do that, but I'm hoping she was not with him just to get that and move on. That's another thing. Now we're talking now, this is just coming to my mind.
Yes.
I'm hoping that she was not with him
because
to become a citizen and gain some kind of stability, and then still leave him. You
because
know, so
in your place, and she was moving all over the city. She want to stay in your house, but there should be no question and answers. There should be no real bound, and that's why you asked her to leave. You did not leave Tony because you didn't love her. You told me this morning when you called me, you love Tony with every fiber, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. You love her even in death. You guys were still communicating even after she left. Right?
Naturally, I love peace. There's no, unless maybe the person, the ex decides to block for her own sanity. Fine.
Yes.
If an ex still stays in touch, I don't block people just because of being an ex. I block people because of being a problem. So the fact that somebody is no longer in my life in a relationship does not mean I have to block the person. Yeah. I know at one point or the other we need each other. Like when I heard, okay, back to this, me hearing about her passing, a friend, a common friend of me and Tony, sent me the link. He said there's something he's seen on the internet. He saw it on, I think it was TikTok, he saw it. And when he saw it, he remembered the name and the face. He said, this is Sonny's ex-girlfriend. So he sent the link to me. And then I saw it. So what came into my mind was, I hope Tony was not alienated from her family. And a lot was mysterious about her. So that was part of why I did that video, you know, with picture proofs, so that it could go viral and I would be able to get, some people would get some form of closure. Because when I saw it, I said to myself, okay, I was the man in her life before she got married. Yeah. And she lived with me. And I know she's a secretive person. So maybe my piece of my story, of my experience with her, could help in doing one thing, in fixing one thing or the other, you know, the information that I give, you know, and this is my truth. No one should say, oh, because Tony left you, now you want to talk down on her.
No,
you know,
you are not talking down
I'm
to
giving,
you. are just saying your
yes,
truth. You are believing every word. Let me just stop
yes,
you for a minute. I believe
yes.
every word you just spoke.
Mm,
Another question I have to ask, I will say something else. Another question I
mm,
have to ask you quick. Did you notice any lesbianism? You know, girls like girls. You notice you notice
mm.
anything about Tony liking girls? Can you pick up any sign?
I never picked up that sign. Mm.
Okay.
I never picked up that sign.
Okay.
Um, I never picked up that sign. I don't know if I should say this on this platform.
Okay.
We were intimate a number of times, but there was never a time she was like trying to avoid getting pregnant, and she never felt pregnant. I don't know if this might help with anything. I don't know. You know, so
So the probably she was using it up. She was stopping herself. Maybe she was taking medication to stop herself from getting pregnant. A lot of women do that too.
now, okay, I thought about that, but
Yeah.
then at some point she said she broke up. Maybe she was lying as well. So she said one of the main reasons she broke up with her ex before me was because he didn't want a child. So she said he didn't want a child. So it wasn't making sense why she would be wanting a child, and then she's breaking up with someone who she wouldn't want a child, and then she's breaking up with someone who didn't want a child because of that. That was what she said to me. So and there was never any worry from her part about her getting pregnant. There was never a time when she was like, let's use protection, or you know, worry about getting pregnant and all that. There was never, you know, any moment like that, you know. And at the same time,
What's about her secret book? Did she have any secret book?
did she what?
Did Tony had any secret book? Somebody wrote in the comment section about
Yes,
secret.
she had a book called The Secrets. Now that book, she would protect that book with her life. That book was always on the fridge. The book was special to her, was more special to her than, in fact, she never really regarded the Bible. So it's not like she was, so even when we pray, you know, when I pray with her, she wouldn't want to pray for too long. She would, I mean, like 10 minutes, she's already done. She doesn't want to, you know, she's already tired of praying. Yeah, yes. So yes, definitely. She had a book called The Secrets.
Or the book you said she used to put on the fridge.
Yes, she was always putting the book on top of the fridge.
Okay.
Where nothing, if for any reason something is placed on top of the book, she gets very offended.
Okay. Okay. So Tony was Tony a trans woman? I know she was not, but somebody asked the question just for the benefit of the doubt. Was she a trans woman or maintains a woman? No.
If she was, then it was very well done. If she was.
Okay.
Now that brings me to this other.
Take your time.
Because some things are, but I don't know if these are things I should say in this platform. Now,
it might help in the investigation. That's the purpose.
Oh, it might help, right? Help. Okay. Yes. Her boobs had names, and they looked very perfect, like as though they were done.
Yeah. Her titties were big. They were full. They didn't drop.
Yes, they were straight. They they looked as though they were done, and they had names. She had, I can't remember the name she named the two of them. So, but now you're saying it, yes. Now you're saying it, I'm thinking, could she have named them because they were done, or they were, you know, plastic?
That's not a big deal. A lot of girls do it.
You know, but then at the same time, I'm thinking, would she have gone that far to have taken off a male genital?
No, I don't think so.
Would a man go that far to do that?
But Tony was very skinny. You like skinny women? She was very skinny.
Yes, Tony was very skinny. Yes, I'm not into fat women. However, if the person is average build or slim, yeah, then that works for me. She was very skinny, as if she was fragile. Tony was fragile. How do you know that? From the pictures, eh?
For the pictures, of course.
From the pictures, okay. Yeah, Tony was fragile. Tony was, she spoke softly. She was very soft spoken. Okay, but now, you know, some things are making sense. Could it be she was really, if someone changes their genitals as a trans, a man that turned into a woman, changes their genitals, is it possible that they would still pee like a man?
I don't know.
Because I'm till now, it's a mystery why she would avoid me coming into the bathroom every way she can when she's there. So at some point I was thinking, could it be she was taking drugs while she's in there? But now that the whole trans thing is coming, you know, could it be that maybe somehow I was going to pick it up if she was trans? I mean, if Tony was trans, then that must have been a very well done thing. They must have really.
And you said to me this morning when you called me, you said that Tony was lazy. You did most of the first choices. You did most of the first work.
Yes, yes.
She's sickly,
I never see her look
or she was just lazy. Was she sickly or she was just lazy? Because you said she was anemic.
She said the reason she doesn't sweep is because she's anemic. So, but then apart from that, maybe that's also part of the reason why she was lazy, because somebody being slow could also be tied to that too. She was very slow. Very slow. You could send her a message today and she would respond tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I introduced Tony. I
wanted to ask a question. Somebody wrote it, but I won't ask. Go ahead. Flow. The platform is all yours. Okay. Flow.
I was saying at some point, I even introduced Tony to my pastor and his wife. Introduced Tony to, I mean, people in my area knew Tony and all that. I'm saying this because someone saw the picture of me and Tony and said it was AI. That I didn't have to, you know, go that far to create a picture of me and Tony and on AI and all of that, you know, which was really funny to me. I introduced her to people that meant she spoke with my late parents before they passed on. She spoke with my aunts, my mom's sisters. They knew her. They spoke with her. My neighbors all knew her. You know, friends in the area knew her. So maybe there were some things she was hiding that made her to hide, because it didn't make sense why she would protect me from knowing any of her close circles, her family members. It didn't make sense why she would do everything to protect me from knowing any of them. You know, so I'm thinking that maybe there were lots of things about her that she was just a mysterious person, you know. And after my experience with Tony, I decided any relationship I was going into, if there's no transparency, I walk away, you know. And of course, I'm too old, you know, for that. If there's no transparency, I walk away. If things are difficult, sometimes it could be just little things like, how old are you? Some people think they are not, if you're not transparent enough to easily say, give an answer when you're asked, it means you're trying to hide something. Now, how old are you might look too simple, but why was it difficult for her to answer? Until after how many months, I now went to her, you know, her bag and found out how old she was, you know. So yeah, so Tony, if Tony was transgender, that transgender thing was perfectly done, because Tony was a girly girl, you know. No, I don't think a transgender would also change their voice, because she had a lady's voice. She didn't have a man's voice. She had a lady's voice. And I never felt like I was with a man at all. You know, but I mean, that would really break my heart even more if I was with a man. It would really tear me apart. You know, but I hope she was never a man.
Okay, so
And
this question is a little bit important. So how did you don't call the person name? So how did you reach out to me? How did you reach out to me? Somebody called you. Did somebody call?
okay, yes. So somebody called me and told me about your show and sent me your link and said that she would like me to be on your show. And
okay, this next question is important. Did you talk to somebody else, even though nobody owned a story on Facebook? But I just want to clarify this. I'm too big to stoop down to small rats. But my next question: did you talk to somebody else before contacting me this morning?
Somebody else contacted me as well and asked if I could be on their show. But then
that person contacted you.
Yes, another person contacted me from Liberia.
Okay, okay. How were you on somebody? Were you on TikTok? The comment section said you went on TikTok.
Okay, yes. So my post was actually on TikTok. So that's where you see all the pictures of me and Tony. I did a video. I did a short video about, I mean, with pictures of me and Tony, and then I did some voiceovers over it. And then I posted it on my TikTok. So a lot of people, I've gotten lots of followers and comments and all of that, but I've not granted any interview until now. So you are the first interview I'm granting. So
okay. Go ahead.
So I got contacted by somebody who saw my video from Liberia, because it was a Liberian number. And he said he's contacted from Liberia and that he would like me to be on the show. And incidentally, when you were about to go live, was when he was about to go live. And then I just felt that I can't be live in two places at the same time, you know. So, so he's been calling even while I was on your live. He's been still trying to reach out.
And it's funny, right? I'm laying here sleeping, and I see your strange number. I pick up, and the next week the person added you to the call. So I'm laughing because experience don't suffer for Jersey. You know, when the whole Tony story came about, I was the very first person that pictures were sent to my inbox. So probably that's why God orchestrated, organized it this way. This story came on my desk with all that bruises. You saw the bruises?
I saw the picture of the bruises. I'm shocked. I don't understand. Could
So
it
they
be?
say it's seizures. They say that's how seizures treat people. So somebody sent that picture to my DM, and I posted last Friday. They see I think she died. So since that day, I've been following Tony's story. Fortunately, this morning,
Oh,
as God will have it, when I received this strange call from a lady whose name I'm not going to pronounce here. I don't do TikTok. So definitely, you know, I didn't see you.
okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
I didn't see you at
Okay.
all. It's an honor having you on the biggest platform, number one, right? The platform that will speak good English. I welcome
Same
you
here.
to this platform. Anytime you will continue to talk, I just wanted to clarify the air. I don't do TikTok.
Mm.
So I didn't even
Okay.
see you that you are on TikTok to take any post. And you and that person contacted me
Mm.
early this morning. I do morning shows,
Mm.
but I don't wake up this early. I woke up this early
Okay.
because of you and this story. This
Okay.
story got too much juice, too much yolk,
Yes, I
right?
see. Yeah. I see.
So
I
the
was also
minute you guys
shocked
call, I
because
said, I'm getting ready. So continue.
when I posted the video, I was surprised. I just posted the video and then I went back to look at TikTok and I saw people were following
Yes,
me. And I'm wondering, that's never happened on TikTok to me before.
because the story
And
is trending.
yeah, the reason I chose TikTok is because unlike Facebook, I think Facebook, you have to like build your audience to a certain level and then, I don't know if it has changed now, but TikTok, even if you don't, TikTok gives you audience added to your own audience.
Oh.
Yes, TikTok was made in such a way that if you go live, people that are not your followers, through the algorithm will join your live. And then if they're interested in what you do, they like. I was also a Facebook person until I noticed that TikTok was beginning to evolve and become the platform that exposes things easily for anybody.
Oh.
Yes. Then I decided to do the video and post on TikTok. I didn't post it on my Facebook. Reason I didn't post on my Facebook was because people on Facebook, like this platform now, is mostly my friends, people I've known from long time. TikTok, most of the people on my TikTok, I don't know them. So the way I built my Facebook, unless maybe on my Facebook page, it's different. I've got pages that, other people join, but this is like my main profile,
So because
which
of the story, you got a lot of Liberian followers, right?
I got
On
a lot of
TikTok.
Liberian followers too. Yes, on TikTok, yes. Yes, and people were following, and then the views, so I think by now the views should be over 2,000. Just
Okay.
posted it this morning. Yes,
But by the time we're
on
done with it,
TikTok.
so whether we got 1,500 views. It could have been no
Wow,
other platform on
that's
Facebook. It's
amazing.
undeniable. We
So,
got 1.5K views, and by the time the show is over, it's aired, we're going to have I don't know how many. I'm so honored to have you because this
I'm
particular
honored to be
girl,
here too.
her death is really bothering me. How can a
It's
young
painful.
girl just die
It's hurting.
mysteriously?
Yes, it's really hurting for
So
me
how do you
because
feel right now, Tony? How do you
I,
feel?
people don't understand, why should an ex be concerned about the death of
On
his
earth?
his ex who was married? They don't understand that the fact not every relationship gets broken because the person was, even if but nobody deserves to die. Even if the person was very bad to me, no one deserves to die.
Mhm.
Tony was one of the calmest people I've ever met on earth. She was very calm, very calm. Yes, we had all those issues of her coming back late, coming back drunk. I look at all those things as weaknesses that I just couldn't cope with anymore. And then she had her reasons why she was keeping me private or keeping me away from family. I don't know. But it was not good for me. So me breaking up with Tony was not because she cheated that I know. Maybe, I don't know, but there was no proof,
Yes,
that she
yes.
cheated that I know. She was not violent towards me, you know, but I broke up because the circumstances we were in, you know, and I regret moving fast or, you know, asking her, you know, for a relationship fast. She was just, the first week we met, that same week, I asked her to be my girlfriend, and she was always around with me. She was, you know, with me a lot, you know. So somehow I just felt, it just felt good. But what I would have done, which I regret I didn't do, was allow it as friendship until I get to know certain things. I felt because I knew her as a calm person, no, this person is too innocent. She's like someone who cannot hurt a fly. She's that kind of person. Very quiet and, you know, calm, you know.
I wanted to answer that question. Was she quiet? What did she speak? English, Swahili? What was she speaking?
Mostly English. She would act like she doesn't understand Zulu, but she did. And she would feel offended if I call her Ntombi. She just
Zulu
wanted to be addressed as Tony.
So Zulu is a language.
Zulu is a language.
And the girl real name was Tony. Her name was Tony. It was not made up.
Say that again.
You call her Tony. In South Africa, her name was Tony. Yes or no?
I believe it was part of her name because the names on her passport was Ntombi Tony Khumalo.
Okay, so Tony was part of her name.
Yes, it was part of her name.
And you said she was born in 1982.
Yes, she was born in 1982. 23rd
she never had
June.
No seizures. All the time, the 1 year up to COVID, 2019 into 2020, never ever.
Never. Seizures is something that you would definitely know. If someone has seizures, you will know. So there's no way Tony would have seizures.
She was not violent.
No, she was not. She was the opposite of it.
She was drinking alcohol occasionally or once in a while. I mean, like frequently.
She was drinking alcohol frequently.
Okay, so she was a frequent drinker.
Yes.
Was she drinking
Tony was very creative. She was very creative.
Wine, beer?
Okay, Tony was a red wine person. She was a red wine person. Sometimes she would go get brutal fruits. And then she would just, you know, like jokingly, she just say, I'm getting cranberry juice. And it was brutal fruit. You know, she was so, say that again.
What is brutal fruit? What is that?
Brutal fruit. It's an alcoholic drink in South Africa. It's like a cider, I would call it, something like that.
Okay. So you blend it?
Say that again.
Do you blend it? Do you put it in the blender and blend?
Oh no! It's a drink. It's called brutal fruit, but it's a drink. Okay. It's already in the bottle. Yes.
Okay. So when she drinks, does she get quiet? You saw her in the couch. She folded herself. When she drinks, how's her behavior? Is she violent? Is she quiet?
No. She's never violent. Even when she drinks, she's quiet.
Okay.
Even when she drinks, she's quiet. Tony, if someone tells me Tony raised a hand on them, I would say the person is lying. Okay. The only time I saw the other side of Tony, and I understand there is a thin line between love and hate, was when we broke up and I was insisting for her to move. You know, and that's when I started seeing her acting, because and then also when even when I would shout at her in the middle of the night, like when she comes back 3 a.m. in the morning, you know, from wherever she went to, and she's coming back drunk, and I'm shouting at her, she does not react back. She's South African. No, she was not. She was not rude. Tony was a nice person. She was nice. She was good to people.
What is about South African? She's South African. What do you mean?
No, someone was asking. I just responded. Okay. I saw a message.
Is that how normal South Africans behave? Are the girls quiet? Are they rude? Are they brutal? Are they arrogant? Normal South African girls to this age. You said she was born 1982, according to her passport. A girl of that age. How's their behavior? Describe it to us. A girl of to this age in South Africa, normally. How can you describe them to us this morning who don't live in South Africa?
Well, I can only speak for people I've experienced, and they said like begets like. So the kind of people that I attract are usually my kind of person, you know. So in my experience, I mean, everywhere in the world we've got people who are violent, who act that way, strange when they're drunk. Okay, but then if I want to judge by people that I've seen ladies, I wouldn't say violent, but like talk too much, as if they want to get a bit aggressive when they are drunk. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen quite a number of that, you know. Ladies, you know, become like they talk to you like they want to get aggressive when they are drunk. I've seen that. But Tony was not the type. Tony had a white lady in a black woman's skin. Yes. So on the inside, she likes to, she was the kind of lady that liked to let things, you know, happen slowly, happen gently, you know, cool, calm, calculated, you know, that type of thing. So I mean, she was a I don't know if there's a word called gentlewoman. In fact, most of those pictures that I didn't put any picture on Facebook, so people that want to see the video that I put up, if you go to my TikTok, the same name, you would find it there.
Okay. So you would describe Tony as a classic girl then. I met her in person twice. Very quiet, very demure. So you would describe her as a classic South African chick. Which tribe? Which tribe is she from? Zulu? Is she Zulu?
Yes. She's Zulu, even though her mom is colored. So I mean, this info is what she tells me. Her late father was Zulu and her mom is colored.
And you never met her parents?
I never met her parents.
You never met her siblings?
I never met any of her siblings.
Because we heard that she's a twin, and you said probably that could be her younger sister. We saw that she was with her brother. They have the same forehead, but we're not actually sure.
She told me the lady was her younger sister. So me hearing she's a twin now is surprising to me. Maybe she meant she came out first. I don't know. But she's never, I mean, that information I think I should know. If she never told me she was a twin. She told me she has a younger sister, and her younger sister has a child.
Okay.
Her younger sister has a child. So there were times she would go with my dog to Lenasia, and she said she had nieces there that loved the dog.
Okay. He already spoke. He already told us why they broke up. They were not compatible. Tony was not very communicative. She was not very open. She was too private for his liking. There were times she go in the bathroom and lock the door. And no man wanted to be with a woman. What? He don't really know anything about her. He said she was very private, but he loved Tony with every fiber. If he didn't love Tony, he would not have gone on TikTok. He was surprised on hearing about her death. For those who said on the platform and welcome. Tony have never had no episode of seizure since they were together from 2019 to 2020. She never had no episode of seizure. Just in case you want me to repeat that question, we can keep asking the same questions over and over. He don't want to say that she was an escort girl, but her attitude, most of the time, when you meet her at the mall, he sees her with older men. Papi, like Samuel Jackson. So it's not surprising. That one line he spoke, it made me to know that he's not lying. Samuel Jackson was way older than Tony Jackson the late. Tony Jassy was born, according to her boyfriend S on the phone, on the page right now, in 1982, according to her passport, 1982. 30th of May, who is 72 or 73 years old. He said most of the time in Johannesburg, he will see Tony with older men at the mall. I don't know how much I can stress this, but never ever has she ever had a seizure. Maybe, like you guys said, Samuel Jackson said, he experienced seizure with her in 2024. This guy met her in 2019. They went out for at least a year, right?
Yeah.
And they broke out in 2020 because they were not compatible.
So what happened was I called up the relationship after 6 months, but she was locked down by my place. So you know how it is. You break this when you break up with someone, it's always better to create the distance. So in the following year, there are times when we had like tried to mend things back, you know, but somehow things were not changing on her path, you know, and then I decided that no, I'm not doing this again. So the relationship started in June 2019, and I called it off December same year after 6 months, but then we became off and on in the following year during the lockdown, you know. So yeah, so that's how I'm gonna put it. Before she
and you never saw her practicing law. You never followed Tony to no courthouse.
moved on.
Your phone is bouncing. What's his name? Tony.
The only time I saw her in a meeting. Yeah. Okay, I think there's a network problem.
Yes, a network shit. But go ahead. Try.
Okay. So I don't know if they can still hear me.
I can hear you. I can see you.
So
I can see you from this.
Okay. So the only time other times she will tell me she's going for meeting with lawyers or whatever, one meeting or the other and all that. The only time I physically saw her attend a meeting of lawyers or something was once, you know. So but I think that once is enough. So I feel she was a lawyer, but not the way she's putting it out there, you know. She's not like a big lawyer. Like she's not.
Sorry, no, don't do that. Sorry, how can a lawyer be struggling for a place to stay? Because listen, according to you, if you had not asked Tony to leave, Tony to leave your place, Tony would not have left. She didn't have nowhere to go. So what kind of practicing lawyer is that? Is that how lawyers live in South Africa? Or was she a paralegal?
No. She's the only lawyer.
Was she finishing her life?
She's
people dream. People dream about being a movie actress. People dream about being an actor, but they never met their wishes. It could be. It could be. That the whole page, her whole profile page is nothing but fake. Because how can somebody be a lawyer? Make it make sense. How much is one bedroom apartment in South Africa?
She was probably, you know what I'm beginning to think? She was probably and I hear some ladies do this. They put up some kind of professional front to attract certain type of men.
Now you worry. Now you are worried. You're taking care.
So I'm hoping that was not what she was doing.
That's
but I saw documents.
I'm sorry. That was so rest. In as much as this particular devil is pinning me, I don't want to believe Tony was a lawyer. How can a lawyer come to your house? She don't really know you, but she was comfortable to live for you, leave your house, go out, meet other men who she calls her clients, and come back home to you. How can you be a practicing lawyer, but cannot afford a studio? Come on now.
Yeah, no, what you're saying is making a lot of sense. It's making a lot of sense.
These days,
because
this is social media. You use social media, you build a profile, you build a portfolio on your profile, making people to believe that she's a lawyer, she's a doctor, she's a nurse. That's just a charade, a facade. You are Nigerian. You know what 419 is. You know what scamming is. That's scamming. I don't know. In as much as I'm into this case, I do not want to believe that Tony was a lawyer. What even make it worse this morning is you telling me that Tony went to your place and you had to take, you even took her things and put it in her own car trunk. She took the things out of the trunk and brought them back to your hand. Come on now, that make it make sense.
Yeah.
What kind of lawyer is this? Flow, you can flow now. That's I just want to get this out of me. That's me.
Yes. No, I'm getting, but we can still say allegedly, because maybe I need to do well. I didn't see the need of doing all these investigations because at the end of the day we broke up, and also I didn't care if she was a real lawyer or not at the time.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't looking for. I was just looking for a good woman.
Yes.
You know. So when she told me she was a lawyer, fine. I didn't, when things were looking suspicious, I didn't try to, find out if she was truly a lawyer. I think my focus was more on meeting people that know her. Because you see, once it's like that, you want to get pictures from other perspectives, so that all I know about Tony shouldn't be only what I know from Tony.
Yeah.
So that was why I was making every effort to connect with every other person. I don't know why the camera is not coming on.
It's not coming on. That's okay. Then I can see you for the other phone.
Oh, you can still see me. Oh, okay. Okay, it's okay. It's not showing on my side here. Okay, all right. So I don't know why people. What was I saying, Seth?
You wanted to see people that she was related to.
Yes. It was the biggest thing for me, because she spoke to my late parents, both of them. I told them about her and my plans with her. She spoke to my siblings, and I just couldn't understand why. And she knew my friends, my circle of friends, but I just couldn't understand why. Why I didn't know people around her. I couldn't connect. There was nobody around her that, she could introduce to me.
Yeah.
And I kept troubling her concerning that. I kept pushing that. I told her, I said, see, at some point I gave her momentum. That was when I made up that decision of breaking up from the relationship. I told her, if by the end of this month, that particular month that I eventually told her, no, it's done. I told her, if by the end of this month, I don't get to speak to someone close to you, then we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her that. And she chose, the breakup over getting me to speak to someone. So that was how the whole thing was. So I wish maybe somewhere I could find the address I would request to. There are times I thought of maybe I should just go on my own to that destination in her home, where when she says she's going home. You know, I wish there was a way I could just go there in Lenasia. But then at the same time, I'm thinking it's not worth it if somebody is not letting you meet her people. It was only maybe if though it's still prolonged to a certain stage, you know, and then I would have made every effort to meet someone that knows her or go to that destination.
On behalf of the Liberian National Police, on behalf of the concerned Liberian citizens as advocates like me, I will say this morning, I would like you to go to where Tony was staying. If it's okay with you.
Where she was staying, you mean like where we were staying together?
No. Where she was
That's
from.
the problem. Yes, I don't have the address. That's what I was saying, that I wish, because back then, once it's a long time, 2019, I will send her, I'll request a ride for her. And that's when she's not going with her car. I'll request a ride for her, and then the destination will be there, and then I'll screenshot the ride and send to her. But I don't have those details anymore. So locating, but I know that the area is Lenasia. So if there's a way,
is it a village?
Lenasia is
a city.
It's not far from El Dorado Park. It's not far from Soweto, but I think it's further down after Soweto. It's outskirts of Johannesburg. It's an outskirts of Johannesburg.
Okay, so it's not in the city.
So, and I don't know how big it is. If it's a place where, but I'm willing to make that move. I don't know if it's as big as you know, you, or if it's as small as me being able to just go to Lenasia and bring up the story, you know, and then somebody might just know about it.
On the radio, you can do on the radio, you can do on the air. And another thing, since you've been with Tony for that 1 year, your program is 6 months, you never heard Tony talking to her mom, her brother, her sister on the phone?
No, I've heard her make calls. Some of her calls, she would go out and make them. Talking to her sister, she had calls when there are times when she had spoken to who she said is her sister, and we were together in the house. I've seen her make calls, but she has never like introduced me to say, speak to Sonny. So there was never that.
Okay. You just overheard it. You just overheard them speaking. But you are never introduced to no family member. Never ever. Her sister owned a penthouse. She said her sister owned 2 penthouses. Her dad had a jet plane. Her parents were rich.
She said her dad had a jet plane.
Her uncle owned a jet plane. Samuel Jackson said the girl family were rich. Of course, she was a lawyer. She lived a good life in South Africa.
No, she definitely lied to him. She lied a lot to him. Definitely. Because she told me her husband has 2 private jets and 1 helicopter.
And then I said, good for you. Jackson was the one that had the 2 private jets.
Yes, and 1 helicopter. That's what she told me. That Samuel Jackson had 2 private jets and 1 helicopter.
And what was Samuel Jackson's profession?
I don't even know. I'm hearing the name Samuel Jackson for the first time. I'm seeing his picture for the first time yesterday.
Okay, so when did you hear of Tony's death? I'm sorry, I didn't ask that question.
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
Yes.
Who told you?
I just heard of her death yesterday. I just saw the picture of the man she was married to for the first time yesterday.
Where?
On the internet. So first of all, a friend sent me a link. He saw it first on TikTok. So he sent me the link. Yeah. So when I clicked on the link, then I saw the story, I saw the picture, I saw that it was Tony. And then I'm like, oh, she was married to a black man. I even thought she was married to a white man all along. Because the old man that came with her when she wanted to come say hi to my dog at some point, that was after
you broke up.
Yes, and everything, you know, that old man was a white man.
So all you were thinking that she was married to a white man?
Yes, and then I'd seen her with that same white man before on the street. He was holding her hand on the street here in Santin. So I thought that was the man she eventually married. It was shocking to me that when I saw the person she got married to, oh, okay. So this is the man she was married to. Just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I think that issue was deeper than what we thought. Oh.
Okay, but this Samuel Jackson man, is he a politician? Is he rich?
He's an economist. He's a consultant.
Okay.
He worked for the Liberian government for over 40-something unbroken years.
Okay.
He's not rich. He's a middle-class Liberian, like any other Liberian. He is an American citizen. He was based in Atlanta, as far as I know. Okay. Yes. And I'm sure for everything you explained, she loved older men. Samuel Jackson saw her in South Africa while he was working in South Africa. I stand to be corrected.
It's very likely because I don't see her going to Liberia to meet him.
No.
Or
and then because he is an American citizen, she got her papers and they started traveling to Atlanta, Liberia, and Ghana, and other countries. Samuel Jackson, I stayed to be corrected. I think he got a home in Ghana. He got a home in Atlanta, Georgia, and a home in Liberia.
Because she went to Ghana, she sent me pictures.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she sent me pictures. She would travel to a particular country. She sent me picture. Travel to another country, send me picture. And she kept telling me, I'm living my best life. And I said, but I'm not fighting with you. I'm not stopping you from living your best life. There's no need of sounding that way, you know, with me. You know, I didn't quarrel with you. You know, I think at some point she said her family. So when I hear now that they're still trying to locate her family, I don't understand. She told me that her family embraced him, you know, that you know, that he was a better person than me. She was just trying to, like, you know, made it seem like, you know, they were. And then she told me he has 2 private jets, an helicopter. You know, when she feels like she wants to spite me or she wants to show that she's angry, you know, she brings in the husband thing. You know, my husband is
not here no more. Respect for the dead. But if what you are saying, if it's true, then that's why I really want to believe that Tony was not a lawyer. And the reason why it's important that we really know if she was a liar, it will speak more to her character, the life she lived, how she met Samuel Jackson, and how she got into the web of lies. Fake life. That's why it's important to speak your truth. That's why it's important to bring out all of these unanswered questions out of the carpet. And that's why it was very important. I applaud you for taking to TikTok, which is the internet, to tell the world that you dated Tony. You did nothing wrong. You had not spoken. We would not have known that Tony was an escort girl. The people that Tony was meeting at the mall, without any further ado, they were not her customers for legal reasons. She met with those older guys. You are Nigerian. You know what they do in Italy. You know what Liberians do in Germany. Right here in America. Right there in Nigeria. Right there in South Africa. They hustle for white older men. Because they feel that they have money. And most of the older men, they are middle class. They are not rich. They are not Bill Gates. You know what I mean? They are not Donald Trump. But they are just living a good middle class life. They can afford their bread. That's all. So I think I want to believe Tony was an escort girl who posed to be a lawyer. I'm sorry to disappoint the audience and you.
So yesterday when I heard about the whole thing, I had to take time to do that video. I posted it on my YouTube channel, you know, as well, and with the same name, Sonny Usoro, the same name on my YouTube channel as well, and on TikTok, because I wanted some form of closure too for me, because fine, she's an ex and she's passed on, God rest her soul. If there's an opportunity for me to understand who I was with for that length of time, it will help me as well to, you know, to get some form of closure, you know. So I did it, put it out there so that whoever sees it probably knows her, because I never knew anyone who knew her. So now a few people who knew her one-on-one have contacted me especially on TikTok, you know, to say I knew her in person, you know. So from there, one way or the other, we might be able to trace her family, because now I'm hearing that, you know, the family is not being traced yet. Do you understand? So that was the purpose for me doing those videos, and it's also part of what has triggered the person who saw the video to have called, asked me to contact you, you know, to come up on your live. And something I left out that I didn't mention.
Go ahead.
There was a time because I was really concerned about this thing of Tony, whether she's actually hooking up with this old man or not. Because people in my area were telling me the same thing. They were telling me, they said, I'm just in denial. I said, well, naturally, I believe your truth until you prove it to be wrong. I don't start by not believing you until you prove yourself to be right. I would believe you first when you tell me something, and then it's only when there's proof that I'll now take it that, you know. So people tell me, they said, no, you're in denial. Tony is dating this old white man. And then I just felt like, no, I don't have any proof to that. So did you see, the fact that you saw, maybe it's her job, you know, you can't just conclude. So one day I decided to, she told me she was going to have a meeting with a client, right? I asked her where. She said Garden Court Hotel. I said, okay, fine. And then she went there. And then I went to Garden Court Hotel, sat down far from where I could see them, but they couldn't see me. They were sitting by the poolside. And I'm asking myself, this is late. What client is this that Tony will be, and it's not like it's reflecting in her pocket, that she will be spending all these hours with, she'll be spending all these hours with a man old enough to be her father, and she's and they are the poolside, and you know, and it's getting late. When I mean late as 11 to 12 p.m. Midnight. And I still sat down there. I spent those hours waiting to see how that conversation, that spending time together was going to end. And then I noticed the two of them walking away from the poolside. And then she follows him to the hotel. So now I'm thinking, okay, this doesn't make sense. You're meeting your client, you're following your client to his hotel room. It doesn't make sense. You're going upstairs. I could see, obviously. She was following him to the hotel. So, but this was not making sense to me. So I just kept watching. And then I called. I asked her, where are you? She said she's still at the meeting where she is. I said, but I just saw you going up to the hotel with this man. And then she said she wants to charge her laptop. She went to charge her laptop. I said, but how do you follow your client to his hotel room to charge your laptop? Why don't you charge it with the concierge in the hotel? You know, and it's still not making sense. It doesn't make sense that you be following your client to the hotel room. And what kind of case is all of this? You know, the whole thing, nothing was just making sense to me. You know, but
so
I let that slide.
So you were asking that about the cause of Tony's death. No. What kind of men, especially on Nigerian or Liberian or Ghanaian, let's be honest, or Ivorian or Guinean, African men as a whole, unless you are pin, what kind of young male be dating or young girl? You see the girl meeting men going up in hotel room, and you still have her in your house. That make it make sense, Abrebo. And every word he's saying, he can remember the actual event, the hotel's name. That one you know the person lying or not. And I don't want to believe that Tony practice before coming here. No, there was nothing practicing yet. This boss saw it. He saw Tony's lifestyle. And that's why I always said, and then go and ask that question. What kind of paralegal, what kind of lawyer you never saw going to court one day? Have you ever saw in court one day practicing law?
There's no proof. There's no proof of anything like that. And nobody has ever come up, and she has never come up and say, I handled this case for so person. She has never mentioned any case that she stood for anybody and all that. It's always cases that she's working on.
You have met a client, you stood in the court, you saw Tony wear her gown or judicial gown.
She had a gown.
Or clients. That's the question. Have you ever seen Tony from 2019 up to the COVID before you guys broke up? Have you ever seen Tony Jackson the late? They were so restless this morning, this afternoon, wherever she is, until judgment. Have you ever seen Tony Jackson practicing law with a client in a courthouse? I didn't say in a hotel lobby.
No.
So what kind
I've seen posters that she put up with her phone number saying she's a divorce lawyer. So, but that she just practices divorce law, and that anyone that is interested should contact her. and then she wrote 5,000 rands.
5,000 what?
5,000 rands.
What does that mean?
That's the amount for to consult her, to use her. Her fee.
Yeah. I'm just stunned. And that fateful day when she went to meet that person, was that person your older client?
Yes, the person was older.
White or black?
It was white.
Even though it doesn't matter. And then because the hotel had plugs. I know even in South Africa, when I went to Italy, the only thing you have to have a different kind of how do you call it? Plug. You know, our plug is different from.
Yes, she could plug there. Yes, there are places she could plug there. There was no need of her going to the man.
That she can plug her laptop. But instead, she followed the client up to his room. And when you call her, she told you she went there to charge her laptop. It's breaking the story. This is a very important piece in the story. So it will tell us a lot that happened in Liberia that led to Tony's death. Because there are some men who are very, very jealous. Nigerian men, they are very jealous. I'm surprised that Sonny is not combative. He's not abusive, because these are things that lead to death. Tricks. When you lie to people, it leads to your untimely death. I'm sorry. Because when this kind of trick, you can become a part of Sonny's house. So what Sonny kill you? Hello, what is it?
He said she lived a fake life.
Yes.
Fake life.
One thing
Everything
is funny. If you tell a man these kind of things, you're not afraid to come back in his bed. That's how people get slaughtered at night. So the time she went and met that older guy, what time did she come home? After you called her, did she come home right away?
She came back, no, not right away, but she came back the same night. The thing is, I've mastered the art of, I wouldn't say master the art. I cannot lay my hand on the woman. The highest I can do is shout, you know, and that's when it gets like to a point where I can't take it. Is shout. And I'll shout and I'll tell her, leave, move, leave my life, leave, move out of this house. You know, move. She will not move, but she'll still be doing the same thing. But she will not move out of the house. I said, okay, we're broken up.
Place to stay then.
We're broken up. Can you please move? She wanted where she could dump all of her things and then she would have a few things that she can move around to meet the people she wants to meet. That's the way what I'm saying. That's the way I'm looking at it now.
But then why she couldn't rent an apartment or studio and dump all her things there, go and meet the people she want to meet and be free? Instead of somebody ending her life because she tricked them. Because that's how people get murdered. I don't know how many men did this too. Can we keep it real here? I don't know how many men did this too. That's how people lost their lives. And I want let this create an awareness. This boy could have killed 22. He could have sat in the hotel lobby, watch her go upstairs with the women. He leave, he go home. After a few hours, Tony come home. While she's sleeping, he stabbed her to death because she lied to him. That was a deadly game. And I believe every word Tony is saying. Continue, Sonny. Is there any other thing that come to mind?
There was a time, I'm just remembering this now. There was a time I introduced her to a Nollywood famous actress, right? If anybody knows her, they can even confirm with her. Her name is Eucharia Anunobi. I don't know if there are people here who know her.
Is she the one in the picture? There's a lady in the picture. You guys took a picture with a lady.
Yes, with the lady. I and Tony and the lady. You know her, yes. Okay. So I introduced her to Eucharia. We even went to a hotel. We sat down for a long time. We're talking. So I introduced. She's like a mother to me, Eucharia, right?
Okay.
So she's an actress. Some of you can check her out on Nollywood.
We know her. She's an old Nigerian actress.
Yes, from yes. You know, so she's like a mom to me. So I introduced Tony. I said, this is the lady that I want to spend the rest of my life with, right? And so we started having some conversation, and then she's like, why waste time? That why don't we just get married? And she said something. She said she cannot get married until she cannot get married and stay in a rented apartment. So the lady said to her, I said, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still buy a property, later in the future. There's nothing wrong in staying in a rented apartment. Like she wanted to, because I'm renting where I was staying, right? And then she wanted a place where she wanted to be married and be in her own property, so I'm not against what she wanted, but I was just trying to tell a story and how the woman was advising her to that she doesn't have to wait till all of that are in place before she gets married and all that. So yeah, I introduced that to that lady. They met, and then there was a time when I told her that we had broken up, You know, she told me that it was never going to last. I said, why? She said, the way she saw the whole thing, and also it was even already wrong that she was living with me, you know, when we were not married, you know, which I think as a man of God, I was also wrong in my own path to have allowed that to happen, you know. So yeah, so that's the person, that's one person I'll say she met that's known, that's like a famous figure that I'd introduced to one-on-one. Some other people, I don't know how famous they are, but there are people in on my street, you know, neighbors. I even introduced that to my landlord, you know. So and the caretaker knew her as well too, you know, and close friends, you know, knew her. And why did I feel very hurt yesterday? I felt very hurt because, number one, nobody deserves to die young. Yes, she has made her mistakes. Maybe there's a lot she would have learned. Maybe, you know, the way I look at this thing sometimes is maybe her father not being present in her life has robbed her of certain things, because her father, according to her, she said her father used to beat her mom, so she was never close to her father. So she had this picture of a man who was abusive, you know, growing up. So that's what she knows about her late father, you know. So maybe she needed someone to teach her or to show her or to be a father figure to her. Maybe she needed a father figure, you know. And that also explains a little bit of why she would like older men. Maybe she had daddy issues, because now I'm saying it's now even making a little bit more sense, you know.
Why did you sleep with your daddy? What do you what did you do for a living?
Point. That's another point. That's another point. Well,
how would I have desire for my daddy? Sexual desires. What do you do for a living? I think you said it, but I forgot. Somebody asked the question for the sake of the money.
Okay, I'm into mission work. I'm a pastor, but I serve under Christ Embassy. But then at the same time, I am into art and entertainment. You know, yeah. I'm into visual art.
Have you found love? Says Tony. Have you found a wife?
Have I what?
Have you found a love?
Okay, if the question is, they don't have to say since Tony. They could just, if the question straight ahead is, if I'm currently, you know, with someone, no, currently no.
Why?
I'm a bit busy on myself. Relationship is monetized this generation, so I guess maybe I need to get a few private jets and helicopter before getting into. I'm joking. That's a joke, you know. But well, I think this is a certain level of things that I need to do for myself. I've done some relocating back and forth that has affected me, slowed me down a bit. When I lost my both parents, relocating back to Nigeria, you know, and giving out all my property, and also my business terrain got a bit affected, and some other things I was doing. Then after 2 years, I came back here again to South Africa in the ending of 2023. So I'm settling in with different things like documents.
You putting your life in order.
Yeah, putting my life in order.
Are you also African citizen now?
Say that again.
Are you also African citizen?
No. No, it's
so why haven't you called a wife to give you your papers?
Yeah, well, I want it to happen organically, but at the right time it will happen organically with the right person.
So is that why you wanted to be with Tony?
Wanted a what? To be with Tony.
Because of papers, or you loved her naturally?
No, I've had ladies come to meet me and say, let me get you paper. So I've never been the paper. I've been here for 15 years. I have always rejected anything that has to do with getting papers with someone I'm not really going to be with. So I've been using the work visa that I keep renewing, the one that I did with my missionary work. So that one does not give you a permanent residence. So that's what
It
I've been
means that you
renewing
have
since. And
high
that's
standards. You have high standards. You're not just going to put yourself with any woman just because of papers.
no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be in a relationship because of papers. I would
Yeah.
rather continue using the missionary work visa and renewing it every 3 years.
And God is still
You know?
making a way for you.
You
want to meet a woman because naturally you are in love.
Yeah, I love love. I love love. You see, some people get surprised how I am still good with whoever I've been with before. You know, before Tony,
Yeah.
the previous year before Tony, I was in a relationship also with a South African lady. You know, well, she's the one who doesn't want to keep the friendship, you know. But I think it's still the same story too. You know, I live in an area called Sandton, and Sandton is it's like the richest square mile in Africa, according to Google. Now, around Sandton here, when I meet ladies, you know, in most cases, the expectations are high. So even if they start dating you, you know, I'm not saying this on every lady, but I'm just saying my experience, you know, my experience. Even if they start dating you, at some point when they see someone who comes with a better offer, the mindset around here, even good ladies come to this environment and their mindset changes. You know, they be with you, and when maybe someone else is approaching them and the person is coming with fake high standard level, you know, they kind of start making excuses or giving you reasons why they are moving away from you, and before you know it, you know, the relationship is no longer working with you, you know, and all of that. So hence I said, maybe even me myself, I have to, you know, raise my standard too, you know, to match up with the environment that I'm in, with the ladies around the environment I'm in, you know. But then maybe if someone from away from this environment, it might work differently. Maybe that, but it doesn't mean that I'm not open to, I'm talking to a few people, you know, doesn't mean I'm not open to a relationship coming up, but I just don't want to rush myself into it. Talking about my age, I'm going to be 45 on the 9th of August this year. Yes, I know I'm grown now, but I wouldn't be desperate because I'm grown. Then I get so desperate to the, you know, to the extent where I will now be, what do you call it? You know, rushing into a relationship. You know, so did I love Tony? Yes. And funny enough, for every relationship I've been in my life, my relationship with Tony seems to be the one that got deep into me the most. I guess mostly because of the living together thing, which is not my principle, which I don't do, you know, but it happened with Tony, and so the bond was much stronger. You know, we did a lot together, you know, spent more time together. She was good she was creative. She would draw dresses. She was about to start up like a clothing line. She wanted to, you know, start up a clothing line. There was ambition with Tony. You know, I took her to a studio, a music studio, and she wanted to sit down and watch the process. She wanted to learn. She wanted to, you know, she was ambitious. That's why she loved traveling. You know, it was just so bad. She told me her best movie was Devil Wears Prada. She said that was her best movie. And
she loved Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey was her
you called that she loved Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey was her best musician. She loved Mariah Carey. Yeah. Her best singer, Mariah Carey. Her best movie, yeah, her best movie, Devil Wears Prada, is her best movie.
It's time to end the interview. If you want, you can tell me what you guys did together as fun. Did you guys go to the movies? Did you guys do some fun things while you were together for the few months that you guys were together? Did you guys do anything fun that you can give me your closing statement? Take your rest. Any other platform can have you now. We are done here.
I'm hoping that no one will judge me on this platform. I like telling my stories as raw as it is.
Of course.
Yes, the first week we yeah, fine. I'm a man of God, you know, I'm a preacher, I understand, you know, but there was a human side of me that also manifested too. So the first week we started dating. That same week, you know, we had gotten intimate that same week sexually. And then when we at some point, even at the movies, there was a time we went to the movies and it was just the two of us in the movie, you know, and we watched movies, we played in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. And yeah, we didn't really travel. In fact, we never traveled together. That's one thing we didn't do, you know, but we went on dates.
You kiss her, she kiss you, you hug.
Yeah, all of that, you know. I mean, like I said, the following month, after the month we started dating, the following month she had moved here, and okay, it was the former place I was staying, but the same street. She had moved in with me, and
you said that you met Tony at the mall. You met Tony at her office in the mall. What did you meet her?
I met her at Santee City Mall in Mandela Square.
So it means that she used to hang out at the mall a lot. She used to like the mall a lot.
Well, I don't know, and I was surprised because it was my first time of meeting her, and this is a mall I've been going to very frequently. So probably she was not in the country for a while, or I don't know, but I never bumped into her until that day that I met her, and this was June, the same month of her birthday. Her birthday was on the 23rd of that June. So that same June, I met with Tony at the mall. So we met, and she bought me a drink. The first day we met, she bought. I mean, we sat down, and she asked me if she could buy me a drink. You know, and that was the first time I was hearing a woman ask me that. So, you know, so. Yeah, I wish I can read comments and respond to the comments, but it's fast. He was in love. Yes, definitely I was in love. When did you become a pastor? Ask him if he ever had seizure at his house. No, Tony never had seizures at my place, ever. There was never any moment there was any seizure. And then
Tony cleared that part out a long time. There was never no seizures. She told
no
me she was immediate. She was lazy. She was quiet. She was not the talkative kind, but she had some dark secrets, including a diary book that she kept all low, you know, and she used to hide it for him. When she used the bathroom, she would stay there for minutes, and he was kind of curious, like any other person. When you in love with people, you want to know, but why she stay long? What's she doing? When she going out, he want to know what she's doing, so you go trap behind her. And that's how you found out that she was meeting men, especially older men, at hotel in Johannesburg. So Johannesburg is the capital of South Africa, right?
Do I have children? No, I don't have children. Was that your first time drinking? What's that? Has she ever gotten drunk? Tony was always drunk at nights, especially. Yes, Tony was someone who drank to get drunk. She had a drinking problem. It was part of the problem we had.
Look, this is my show. You can come my show and tell me what to do. If I don't ask questions, how can I talk, conduct an interview? I will block you if you read that statement again. Now you.
Okay.
So
I'll leave the comment.
Asking the question if you saw the care with period. What kind of question is that? She's a girl now, she will have a period. Right?
Okay, I think there's a reason why they're asking. They're asking because of what we said earlier on about could she have been a transgender. Yeah. So I understand where the question is coming from.
Yeah.
But funny enough, now thinking about that question, I don't remember, hey? Oh, okay. If it was, maybe my mind is just not there because those are not things you focus on. Did she experience periods or complain of period pains and all those things? You know, I've never really had experiences with women like that. You know, about all those period pains, you know, things they have to take when they're in their period. What I cannot remember, I can't remember, Tony. Okay. Period. To be honest with you, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I have to think very hard on it. You know, but
so
I don't think she would want me to go by.
Statement?
Yeah,
before you leave this platform, what's your closing statement today? You are on the biggest platform of Facebook with Kato Kase. You are on the #1 platform of Facebook. And I thank God you contacted me this morning by the grace of God, and you are here. Thank God for the person that connected us. What is your closing statement before you leave the platform? What you want to say in a nutshell?
Okay. So my closing statement is going to be tied to my experience. So it will be what I've learned from my experience with being with Tony. I've learned, and it has also helped me in whichever relationship I'm going to be in. Yes, I've been in one real relationship after Tony. I've had almost relationship, you know, like let's say getting to know someone and then I realized, okay, no, it's not going to work out. But I've been in one real relationship after Tony, and that was towards the end of 2023 when I just moved back here to SA. But I don't want to go into details with that one. So now, but what did I learn? It's what I have been applying. The moment I'm in a relationship and you don't have somebody you respect, if you're in a relationship, let me put it like this, let me put it out there. If you are in a relationship and there's no person, that person doesn't have somebody they respect that they introduce you to, you understand? Because when you have issues, there's always conflict in your relationship. When you have conflict, you're not going to report to the one that you're having the conflict with. You're going to have to report to the figure that is being respected. You know, so if somebody doesn't have a father figure or a mother figure that person can refer you to, you know, when you are having conflicts, you know, then cut yourself off. No matter how somebody tried to you know, try to convince you, if there is nobody they can show you as a father figure and say this person, you know, or even introduce you to anybody, that's even worse. But I'm just saying, but father figure so that your relationship will be secured. Then it's worse when they don't even introduce you to anybody. They say, no, I like to keep my relationship secret. Just know that you're not yet, you know, in anything serious. You might just be in a relationship for the season, or you might be in a relationship while you might be in a true relationship, person truly loves you, but the person might still be holding on to certain things that the person doesn't want you to see yet. So there's still a problem. Whichever way, never be in a relationship with someone and we get serious and you don't know somebody that's from the person's family or close person to that person. It's always very important. I think that's one big lesson I learned from being with Tony. And don't be too quick to move in, because it has its own issues. I would have at least had a reason to go visit, because there was nothing like me visiting Tony all through the relationship, because she was too quick to move into my place, you know. And then before I knew it, she was like, oh no, her sister, story and all that. So now it's like, okay, I'm seeing her every time, so what's the need of going to visit her, you know? So if there's a quick moving in, then something is suspicious. It could be that the person is in a relationship for convenience, you know, or it could also be that the person is in a relationship, you know, and hiding you from the relationship. It could be different things. So as you progress in, and then final, sorry, let me say this final. I'm not against a lady dating a man who is able to give her everything she wants, or give her the lifestyle she wants. I'm not against that. But it's good to be very careful. And also, if you know you're not going to be in a relationship with the one that you don't think you think you would leave for someone else, don't start. You know, one of the reasons why I'm not rushing into a relationship, I don't want to start a relationship with someone just because I want to be in a relationship desperately, and then later on I meet someone I want to be with, and then I move on. I don't like breakups. I hate breakups. You know, so if you want to be in a relationship, for the guys now, don't just rush. Make sure it's what you want. Make sure it's who you want to be to. I'm not saying your standards has to be too high, you know, but like some basic things that you want, stick to what you want and wait for what you want, you know. Then for the ladies, don't start where you know that you will not continue. And then when you start, the fact that someone comes and promises you heaven and earth, you know, doesn't mean that. Scrutinize everything. Be careful about the men you meet. Get to know the background. Let the men also get to know the background of the woman and all that before hearts get communicated. Knowing someone is key and very important when it comes to relationship. You know, from what I see, Tony would have been safer dating someone, even if the person was a rich man that she wanted, dating someone in the city where she lived, you know. Even if she was now dating someone that was not in this city, you know, then she has to really know the person to an extent where, or the person has to know her. So the knowing each other thing, you know, plays a huge role. That was also another big problem, you know. May her soul be, you know, accepted by God, and may she have all the peace, you know. And I pray that her family in this season, even as they get to know about her demise, her family will be comforted and all that. And I also pray for this platform, that God will bless this platform and help this platform to grow bigger and bigger and become #1 platform in the world. And you know, and the host, thank you very much for having me. It's been a great pleasure. This is time consuming as well too, you know, so having this time, and also it's exposure for me as well too, you know, because I'm likely going to have some followers, you know, from lots of followers from this this thing. And
don't be surprised too. Now you'll have some Liberian, Ghanaian, Nigerian girls coming your DM. Just be careful about women you meeting on the internet, because you already learned. You are men of God. Use wisdom. Ask God for more discernment.
Thank you, thank you. And please, guys, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's your name? What's the name on YouTube?
Sonny Usoro TV.
Sonny Usoro TV. You are also on TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Sonny Usoro.
Okay. It was nice having you this morning here. You say it's in the afternoon time in South Africa. You are always welcome to this platform if you remember any other piece. Okay. And maybe the Liberia National Police might be calling you. You never know who was watching. They might be calling you to ask you a few questions concerning the late Tony Jackson. You are also open to go to other platforms as you so wish. Have a blessed and fulfilled afternoon there in Johannesburg. I would love to see Johannesburg. I want to come to Cape Town too, where they bury Nelson Mandela.
You're welcome. I mean, with the American Blue Passport, it's visa free.
Yes, that's what I heard. With the American passport, right?
Yes.
Okay, we rule the world. We are the conqueror of the world. You know, the people need us to come because when we come, we spend money. That's all. It's all about the dollar. Have a blessed and fulfilled time there. Until then,
thank you.
Talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm so sorry for Tony's death. I'm so sorry. My deepest condolences to you that had a close contact with Tony while she was still here with us. May she be received in heaven too until judgment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was the voice of Sonny Okoro, the ex-boyfriend to the late Tony Jackson, Sam Jackson's wife. The reason why I would not bringing people on the platform, I don't want no distraction. I don't want the same question I asked the man. People come back to do a repeat broadcast. No, it will make